Hi class. The purpose of this short video lecture is to understand the purpose behind the faculty advisor consultation. This is one of the most important elements of this class. You see, you're going to take what you have been learning about yourself, about what you want to learn about your area of ministry interest, about the various internship opportunities that you have been exploring, and then begin the process of putting it together into an internship, or rather field education experience. In order to do that, your most valuable ally is your faculty advisor. Now, the faculty advisor is almost always the head of the degree department that you are in. So whoever it is who's leading the program, whether it be youth and family or preaching, counseling, worship arts, that person is almost always the faculty advisor over a field education experience. There are some rare exceptions, but take that as the primary benchmark. If you're thinking it should be somebody else, you should email me for clarification. So what are you going to need in order to complete this? And what does the process really look like? Well, this is listed as the second assignment most of the time in vocational preparation, but you need to understand it doesn't necessarily have to be. You just need to have the first assignment done, the student information sheet, before you begin, as well as a few other things. So the first step is you're going to set a meeting with your faculty advisor. Now, if you're an online student and you don't live in Moberly, Missouri, a face-to-face on campus is probably not going to be workable. Instead, I would encourage you to do something else, to set up an online conference call or maybe Skype or FaceTime meeting with your faculty advisor. There is even a method you can use, Canvas, but it's a little bit harder to set up for this particular event or meeting. But you should do this at their convenience and set aside time for probably about a half an hour to an hour at the most. But this meeting, they're going to get to know you. You're going to get to know them, assuming that hasn't happened already. And you're going to be able to share some ideas about where you're going and how you get there. One of the ways you're going to help your advisor help you is with that first assignment, the student information sheet. So if this is a virtual conversation or a phone call, you will need to email your professor. I also want you to remember that it is your responsibility to find your field education experience options. Now, I'm providing some in the class itself, but you should have already put some work into it by this point. Beginning in week 1, you should be starting to think, where could I do this? It might be in the local church. It might be here on campus. It might be a local non-for-profit. Might be in a internship opportunity that you've talked to other students about. Those are all great possibilities. I want to encourage you to begin exploring them and begin making a list. You're not committing yourself to any of them at this point. You're just exploring. What is it that you're wanting to do in ministry or in the workforce, and what would be a good learning opportunity for you to gain skills and learn about what that job actually looks like on a day-to-day basis? Those are the types of things you want to do in an internship, in a field education experience. So bring those to your meeting with your advisor. Also, bring questions. If you don't come prepared with questions and options to discuss, what exactly are you going to discuss? I've had professors tell me that this meeting is absolutely worthless if the student doesn't put in the time to prepare. That's generally the case in the professional world. If you don't come to a meeting prepared, ready to discuss the purpose of the meeting, then it was a waste of time. And what's worse is that you're wasting the time of the person who is there to help you succeed. But in order for them to help you, you have to help yourself a bit. So bring your questions, bring your list of potential options, your student information sheet. If you've got one or two of those potential options, they're kind of your favorites, go ahead and fill out a a field site data sheet. You can find this link on Canvas. You can also find it on the school website. This will allow you to, again, provide a little bit more information for your professor. It's not a requirement that at this point you have a learning agreement signed or ready to go. You're just beginning the process of discussing your learning agreement. But you should be familiar with what the learning agreement is, and maybe have some questions about what the professor, your faculty advisor, is looking for. You need to come with a willingness to learn. One of the pitfalls that students will often have is that they have a set idea of what an internship should be, or they're basically looking for the easiest way to get this done, as if it's a box to check off to get your degree. No. This is crucial training ground. It's one of the first real learning opportunities in the trenches that's incorporated into your degree. Yes, your classes will have specific practical assignments where you go into the workforce or into the ministry, but this is something that you're going to put in 150 to 300 hours, depending upon your degree program. And so you get a real glimpse of what day-to-day life is like in that world. It's very different than being a college student. And if you haven't had that experience, this is crucial for you making a wise decision about your career path for the rest of your life. Finally, I want to encourage you to take notes. This displays a willingness to learn and a positive attitude, but also you're going to need it for finishing this assignment. Now, I should say at this point that the completion of your learning agreement is not a requirement for this assignment. The learning agreement is really setting in place your field education experience, your internship. It's a contract between you, your faculty advisor, and your field supervisor, the person overseeing your internship directly. Your faculty advisor can help give you clear understanding of that, what that learning agreement is about. However, while it may not be a requirement for this assignment or even completing this class, it is a requirement before you can begin your field education experience. Every once in a while, we'll have a student decide, oh, I'm just going to skip that part. If you don't have a learning agreement, you don't have an internship. Let me repeat that. If you don't have a learning agreement, you do not have an internship, at least not one that counts towards your degree. And the last thing you want is to get to a point where you're filling out your intent to graduate form only to receive an email from the academic dean saying, I'm sorry, you need a plan to do your internship before we can go down this road. Well, wouldn't that be an embarrassment for you and for me? We don't want that. Let's set that learning agreement up as a goal that by the end of this class, you are ready to fill that out, if not before. So what do you turn in for this class? Well, after your faculty advisor consultation, using the notes that you took in that meeting, write a one-page summary of your meeting and upload it to Canvas. You will need to include specific steps of action you are taking after the meeting to secure an appropriate internship and the specific guidance your faculty advisor gave you. I want to see that you have actually processed what the faculty advisor is coaching you in. This one page, and yes, I do mean one page, needs to be written according to the writing standards of Central Christian College of the Bible in Turabian format. Remember that every writing assignment you turn in is a reflection on who you're going to be in your professional and ministry life. So do a good job. Now, I know that you can do this, and I'm looking forward to reading all that you are exploring and that God has for you in your field education experience, beginning with this opportunity you have with your faculty advisor. Also, remember to thank them for their time. This is a crucial part of your learning experience, but it is something that they do not necessarily always budget into their time because it's an extra meeting, and they're doing it for you because they want you to succeed. Give them the respect and the thanks that they deserve. God bless.